Hello, everybody. I am Sage Medit. I am here on Hydrofactum Solstice, and I will be giving a brief explanation on how to play the bass. Um, first off, this is Hydro. So this is basically exactly identical to TNIC's version of Hydro. If any of you were wondering or curious, the only difference is it's just slightly remodeled to have some soul propaganda, because Lord Solar guides us, and His will is all that matters in life. Nothing else, not even like a employment or anything like that. Our lives are dedicated to Lord Solar. Just kidding. Not really. I am not kidding at all. But anyways, to get back on track, it's exactly identical to Hydro, just has Soul Tech on it. So it has like the Soul Tech. So this is a pretty simple base, another small fair zone. I believe the ratios are 10v10. Let me double check real quick. Yeah, 8v8 to 12v12, so it's a fairly smaller one. Can be a little bit larger numbers with 12v12, but usually you want to run this maybe 10v10, 12v12. The main idea is there's a few different points. So there's going to be one over here, this is far right. There's going to be one over here, which is mid, and one which is bottom, and then this one which is like far left. There's definitely names for this. I don't really care about them. They're pretty irrelevant. You can just call them exactly what I called them. So I imagine most people have played Hydro before, but I'm just gonna go over like the quick callouts and how to like take this, like take hold and take and hold every single point. So firstly, let's start off with far left. If you go up these little ladders, this goes into vents where you can drop in. Oh, where am I? Okay, here we go. You can drop into assorted places in turn. For example, here you can drop right into the middle area. You can, which is by the um, flood control. So if you click the flood control, it floods all this water up. It makes it so you can't come down here. Basically, to hold this point, you can reinforce the events if you want. You can usually, if you have it, just run through your door. You basically just spread out in here, shoot them. They're either gonna come in. They usually just try and brute force either their door or your door, or maybe send a few through bottom. It's a pretty simple point to hold. Just make sure you prioritize your team early, because it's kind of annoying to try and take back. Another thing, you cannot go through these. They are only one way. So you can only come in through bottom, you can't go out through bottom. But let's say you're in here, you can. Oh, maybe not these. That was embarrassing. You can also like jump up on these pipes like this to get back up if you happen to fall down into the water on accident. Yeah, it's basically it. You can overextend through here if you want on another point, if you are someone good enough to do so. Um, it's kind of whatever. If you do overextend, the best place to go if you're overextended to the left is to come here, climb up when it's safe to do so. Come here and just beam the crap out of their mid team. This little balcony is definitely the best spot to hold if you are trying to, get some cheeky free kills. For mid, I'll do for bottom for the next point. I really like this point. It's pretty cut and dry. A lot of people, there's a few things you can do. You can either send your full team left, which is not as viable considering that you're kind of sending your whole team in one little chokehold. One thing I like to do is I'll take my full team mid to this to house, or the building, whatever you want to call it. Get some kills on their off spawns. I'll say everyone drop into here. We'll try and shoot down for a second. No one's there. Alright, 3, 2, 1, drop. We'll drop right onto the point right here. Then we'll just come in, spread out, try and fight it. Then we'll, spread out inside, down here. Look back here, look back here. Have a few people playing up in here, or better yet, altogether, if your team is coordinated enough, you can just come back up and hold here. Since if they cap it, you just slam on them, kill them, and come back up, and you just keep off spawning their mid team basically, or their team in general, because they're probably going to be doing the same thing. For mid, so this is a really interesting point, I can say, because if you don't have a good right team, it's not going to be too fun for you. The idea behind this is you want to hold up on this roof. You shoot for turn. If it's far right, if it's mid, you kind of just hold the building, hold the top, try and off spawn their mid team. If you're gonna cap, you come, drop, you come back, just like that. You know, it usually works good if you have someone healing you. You don't really want to walk like this because you're really exposed to the other team's right side here. So they're left. If you see, It's a very, very bad spot for you to be in. If their team on right has brains, you're gonna get beamed. So same thing with if you're on the starting team for Soul. These are like free eats, and then you can also angle them. You can look up like this, and you can angle. They're gonna be all sitting right here. The best way I personally like to play Hydra is once I have enough people on mid and I have a few people on right, I want to overextend it immediately, and just as my mid team overextends, they're gonna, some they can kind of split it. They can like jump over the top, they can run through the building. Doesn't really matter because usually it just automatically works. You know, then our right team stays back, shoots for them, then the right team overextends, kills them, and now you have a nifty little spawn trap going where you just kind of sit here and stat pad and farm the bots and all that jazz. There's a bunch of little ratty spots you can play, but they're not really like necessarily important for you to like learn the base to push. Like let's say it's like far right, you can or like their right team is really like messing you up. You can someone bottom and hit this angle from down here, or if you're on the other team, hit this angle from down here to crossfire. Um, you can also just send them into their spawn, but basically you want to just keep going for these quick trades, quick caps. For right, um, whoop, um, you basically are going to make sure you have a good mid presence. Don't go for cap if you don't. You have enough people over here on right. You're going to say, someone go for term. So Sage Mode Yeet, go for term. Everyone else shoot at mid. Or everyone else shoot for him. 3, 2, 1, go. Sage Mode Yeet goes for term. If he can, makes it all the way up to here. Everyone else, if you're on right, you're just shooting their team on mid, and if you're on mid, you're shooting their team on right because everyone's just gonna be jumping up and down, seeing someone go for term and go absolutely bananas. Again, then you can spawn trap. This is just like a little nifty little base. It's very fun, regardless of if you're playing the TNIC version or if you're playing the Soul version. Um, you know, Oh, and one more thing. So I mentioned earlier, this is a good like spawn trapping angle. If your team is getting spawn trapped, it's very simple what you do. If you're off spawns, they come up the ladder, they kill the guy spawn trapping, and then they come down to mid. Very, very easy. Very, very simple. Just make sure your team is listening to you, and make sure you're making constant pushes on this base. It's not a base where you can kind of like, sit back, like let them all run in the open and just beam them and nah, nah. You gotta be beaming out us type shit, type shit, type shit. That's how you gotta be playing this. You gotta be beaming 24/7. You gotta be shooting that gun of yours. Lord Solar gave you a gun, and you better friggin' use it. Again, hope this was very useful and helpful for everyone that watches this. I hope you enjoy, and good night.